I thank you for agreeing to hold this hearing, an important bipartisan hearing on a problem of ransomware. Hear about it every day. I've appreciated working with you on this subject and look forward to continuing to work if we decide that legislation is necessary. The threat that we face from ransomware is increasing. Criminal actors are using techniques like phishing emails to gain access to data of business, nonprofit, or a government. The criminal actors then lock the data down and demand a large ransom. Usually very difficult to trace virtual currency like Bitcoin is used to pay for it. Yet paying a ransom is no guarantee that the victim will have their data returned and that they will not be victimized again and asked to pay yet another ransom. Earlier this year, we had FBI Director Chris Wray compared the challenge of fighting ransomware to those that we face after 9/11. Estimates on the amount of ransom paid in 2020 ran into the hundreds of millions of dollars. Ransomware has targeted schools, local governments, and during this pandemic, can you believe it, even hospitals and healthcare providers. In May, 2 massive ransomware attacks hit a critical supply of gas, the Colonial Pipeline, and a major supplier of meat, the JBS slaughtering operation. These events created very disturbing questions about the security of our supply of essential goods like fuels and food. Since that time, I've received questions from many Iowans about what we can do as a nation and as individuals to fight the threat of ransomware. This hearing will help us answer those questions. Ransomware does not just affect the deeper pockets of large companies like Colonial Pipeline and JBS. An estimated 3 out of every 4 victims of ransomware is a small business. Small businesses already operate on thin margins, and many have been pushed to a brink by the pandemic. I'm glad that we'll be hearing today what government agencies like Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency at the Department of Homeland Security can do to help small business owners to practice good cyber protection to avoid ransomware attacks. We will also be hearing which investigators like FBI and the Secret Service can do for those who have been victimized. Ransomware often originates from countries with permissive law enforcement environments that allow these cyber criminals to flourish. So-called ransomware as a service is a business model. Can you believe that? Employed by criminal networks such as DarkSide and Reveal. DarkSide and Reveal are behind many of the recent attacks. These criminal organizations work like illicit software providers, creating ransomware and leasing it to other criminal actors like known as affiliates for a share of the profits. We will be hearing from the Department of Justice how these criminal actors can be targeted and punished. The situation would be dire enough if ransomware was used only by sophisticated criminal actors in countries unwilling to help bring them to justice. However, just last week, the Biden administration and many countries, which are allies of the United States, formally blamed China for a massive hack of Microsoft Exchange email servers. Hackers operating under the umbrella of China's own Ministry of State Security appear to have used the hack to engage in ransomware schemes for their own profit. They will have extorted millions in ransom from our own U.S. victims. I have spoken many times on the dangers of cyber attacks, theft of intellectual property, and other aggressive behavior by China. I fear that ransomware will be a new method used by the Chinese Communist Party against Americans, and I will be pursuing opportunities to combat that danger. I look forward to hearing the testimony about what the executive branch agencies are doing to fight ransomware and what we as a country can do. And I thank all of our witnesses for attending.